everybody, this is Terry with your total blood moon eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees, coming in on March 13th at 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, going into March 14th at 12:30 a.m. This is gonna be an intense total lunar eclipse. Who could use a little energy clearing, perhaps some distance, Reiki, healing? This total blood moon in Virgo brings a healing crisis. And maybe you're feeling that, and I'm feeling the wind. The winds of change are blowing as I record this. I hope this is going to come out okay with some really intense wind that just started blowing as soon as I began. And this is our biggest blood moon eclipse until 2029. We are in a time of massive transformations. And it reminds me, I was thinking this eclipse reminds me of the last time I was at Disneyland. And I went on the roller coaster ride, Space Mountain. If you've ever been on Space Mountain, it's a roller coaster in the dark. That is what we're going through on this total blood moon eclipse. We're, buckled up. We're riding that roller coaster in the dark. And the funniest thing happened when the last time I rode Space Mountain, which is absolutely my favorite roller coaster. I love roller coasters. I love adventure. But this time when I rode it, when we came back at the end of the roller coaster, I was relieved that it was over. But then the guy came to try to unclink our, the big harness that you wear for Space Mountain roller coaster. And I swear that because I'm a Reiki master teacher and I have so much Reiki energy, technology always glitches on me. I can tell you a million stories, and people always say this: I've never seen this happen before. If I had a dime for every time somebody said, well, this has never happened before, and it's a technological glitch, I would be a millionaire, because this happens. I have heard, I've never seen this happen before, millions of times. And here I am coming back from Space Mountain, can't wait to take off the harness and get off this ride. And the guy said, the thing is not working. I've never seen this before. Would you mind riding the ride one more time again? And so it's like we have been through a roller coaster, but now we're stuck and the harness won't come off. And we have to ride that roller coaster in the dark with all the turns and shifts and going upside down in the dark. And then guess what? I came back finally after 2 times, and the harness still wouldn't come up. I had to ride it 3 times because the 3rd time is a charm. It took 3 times of riding this roller coaster in the dark before they could remove the harness. And that is what this total blood moon eclipse in Virgo, in this Ides of March, this precarious time, really feels like. And Virgo rules over that 6th house of your health, wellness, your routines, your daily habits, your bad habits. So we are really having some big changes happening. Perhaps healing crisis, perhaps something happens that makes you have a wake-up call where you have to change your daily habits to support your wellness going forward. That is the energy of this. And of course, we have that Uranus crossing over the Algol Star for President Trump. It is hitting his midheaven. Uranus, planet of unexpected, shocking events, crossing the Algol Star, known as the Medusa star, which always causes head injuries or just losing your mind. And this is going to cross Trump's midheaven. In astrology, the midheaven is your point of destiny. It's things that are destined to happen to you. And I truly predict that something could happen. Trump could have a head injury or something, or lose his mind even more, something with his head, because the last time we had Mars and Uranus conjunct, that Algol Star crossing Trump's midheaven. That was last year when he had the assassination attempt on his life, and it hit his ear right next to his head, got hit in the head when Uranus crossed Algol Star last time. And now Uranus is coming back again. You can't get off the roller coaster. You got to ride the roller coaster in the dark again. Here comes Uranus crossing that Algol Star right at Trump's midheaven. What is going to happen now? And I just had to get out into nature to do this report today. I needed to be near the water because we've got Sun and Saturn and Neptune and that nodal north node axis all lining up in Pisces. We have just a stellium of planets on that Pisces, Aries. We are in the birth canal. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, 12th house. It's all about endings. And Aries, first house, is all about beginnings. So something is ending and something is yet to be born as we are in this collective awakening for this total blood moon eclipse. And I just want to unpack some of the transits. I might go into them even deeper in a Zoom report when I get home, but I just had to go on a hike, do my nature therapy, and root down because we are in a massive shift. Can you feel it? And we've got so much energy. There's so many energy downloads coming as the Schumann resonance has been off the charts. If you follow the solar storms and the Schumann resonance, we've just have been having so many of them, causing so many strange health, just weird health symptoms for so many people. I'm really hearing about this with my clients. And then we are going to have a Sun Saturn cazimi, which is going to bring possibly backaches, toothaches. Saturn rules over your bones. And when it conjuncts the Sun, it's like an expansion of issues with bones and teeth and your backaches. I've seen so many people have had their back go out lately, including I've had some back issues. And that's just that Saturn, strong Saturn in Pisces, conjunct the Sun in that stellium of planets. And then, of course, Venus has gone retrograde. I talked a lot about that in my Pisces new moon report. You can hear more about Venus's star pattern. But Venus retrograde affecting relationships, and we have Mercury retrograde just really causing all those Mercury retrograde issues with technology and getting things done. But Mars, of course, Mars has stationed direct. Mars in Cancer, forming a Mars trine for Scorpio and Pisces. This is good news. This is your ambition to get things done again. And so Mars is coming in, trining this whole eclipse or trining Pisces, which is opposite the moon in Virgo, where the blood moon is occurring. But so this Mars trine the Pisces Sun is really going to give us the momentum to move forward on our big plans. So I just wanted to unpack a little bit about this eclipse. And now I'm going to pull up the chart at home and just show you step by step all the transits, and we will do the Sabian symbol to really figure out what is going on this blood moon eclipse and how can we cope with it. I'm going to give you some good coping mechanisms for how to handle the energy of this big, massive shift forward.
So I came home and I'm going to unpack all the transits of this eclipse portal for you. I know so many of you love to learn astrology by watching the charts. So I'm going to share my screen and just point out the different transits that we're having, that Sun conjunct Saturn, the Mars trine, and all the star of Algol, all of it that is really going to affect us. And now I'm just going to share my screen real quick. So here is the chart for that blood moon eclipse. And you can really see here is the Virgo moon, the blood moon, and it is opposite Pisces, where we have all the stellium of planets, Saturn, Sun, North Node, Neptune, all in that birth canal, going from Pisces, that 12th house endings, into Aries, that first house of new beginnings and a new way forward. And what I really want to start to talk about is the Sun conjunct Saturn, that Sun Saturn cazimi happening in Pisces on March 12th, just on the precipice of this eclipse portal. This is an intense conjunction between the Lord of Karma that will be bringing endings in Pisces, ruler of the 12th house, where we are forced to let go of things. We might lose something. There's an end of the road here. This can represent a loss or hardship. And where does Pisces show up in your chart? That is where your big Saturn soul lessons are going to show up. And this transit is calling for you to dig deep and find your inner grit, that passion and perseverance to move forward against all odds, to make it all happen despite the obstacles that Saturn will be putting in front of all of us. Those obstacles bring those deep soul lessons. And pay attention to what is showing up for you now related to your Pisces and Virgo. And this can relate also to Saturn in Pisces becomes the Grim Reaper. So this indicates there could be death. And combined with that year of the snake in Eastern astrology, we are just seeing more death, there could be more pandemics or bird flu or some other deaths may show up in this eclipse portal. And I think of Hamilton, who just said, stay alive. Like maybe your biggest goal for this eclipse portal is to just stay alive, because this is a little bit ominous, this whole Saturn conjunct Sun in the 12th house in direct opposition of this blood moon eclipse. And kings and queens of the past would hide out during eclipses, because it especially will affect political leaders or royalty or people of power. We could see someone, even I'm worried about the Pope. I'm worried about my dog. My dog has a lot of houses or a lot of planets in Pisces. His moon is in Pisces, and my dog is in hospice still. And this 12th house, Pisces, it could just be, if you know somebody who is on hospice, this lunar eclipse is a good time for crossing over with Saturn in Pisces becoming that Grim Reaper. We may see some death, but it's also about just letting go of your attachment to the outcome. Maybe you've been trying to manifest something. We've had a lot of manifesting moon energy, and now it's time to release your attachment to outcome for how it is going to show up, because Saturn says it's going to show up totally different than what you expected. And we have Mars here in Cancer, and Mars in Cancer is creating a trine to this Saturn conjunction, in Saturn Sun conjunction. So Mars in Cancer trine, the Sun and Saturn in Pisces. This is going to give you the courage to follow through on your dreams, to do the thing you've been talking about doing. This is going to renew your ambitions. Mars just went direct, and this will give you the perseverance to accomplish something big. even in an eclipse portal. It just might surprise you how much you really can accomplish something when you get your momentum behind you and you can move the dial forward. It's about completing a big project, finishing the script. The big task you've been working on can finally be complete now. And I've finally finished up so many of those 2025 astrology readings. And I'm having an eclipse astrology chart sale that ends on March 13th. And then I'm going to take a pause on readings until May 15th because I have a lot of workload myself working on the Bend Health Guide and our Spring Health Fair, and I'm getting ready to teach a big Reiki class on April 27th. It is already feeling like a super busy spring for Scorpios and Pisces and Cancer, who are all benefiting from that Mars in Cancer, giving us the juice to get things done. But there's a lot to be done for the water signs in particular, and Mars trine is going to give us all motivation, but be careful this spring to not take on too much because you really feel like you can conquer the world with this Mars and Cancer, but you might take on too much and not be able to accomplish it all later. And we have a really interesting North Node conjunct Neptune in here, right in this triangle of all these Pisces planets. The North Node of the Moon is conjunct Neptune, which of course is opposite that Virgo moon. Holy smokes, this is some really big, heavy, mystical, magical, otherworldly soul work that we all have to do that will align with an increase in that Schumann resonance. We've been having these Schumann resonance off the charts. If you follow that, it's basically the Earth's energy frequency, and the Schumann resonance has been increasing, giving us these energetic downloads. Maybe you've been feeling it. A lot of people are feeling these downloads, even though so many of us, we can't totally comprehend what it means or what it is, but our world is energetically, structurally being transformed by this higher vibrational energy that is all part of that solar flip that I was talking about all last year. We had the solar magnetic fields flipped, and we've had so many solar flares, and there's just this increase in energy transforming our world with this collective awakening that is truly happening on our planet. And this is all part of, ties into this Pisces ending, Aries. All these planets that are in Pisces are going to eventually move into Aries, and it is going to be a new way forward as we move on into that Aries. It's we're kind of just stuck right now in this eclipse portal. We're stuck in the birth canal between what was and what is about to become. And maybe we're going to need a C-section or epidural to help push us forward so we can birth in this new world that really wants to come in. This time feels so much like a birthing process, and we have to release and we have to let go and we have to just allow it to happen. We can't control anything now. Saturn is saying you can't control what's about to happen. In this eclipse portal, for me, I just keep asking, and then what happens? You know, we're in these, some people feel we're in this dire time, but I feel like, and then what happens? And then something good happens. And then what happens? And joy is my resistance. I will not let anything take my joy in this world right now, because joy can become your resistance, even with all the negativity, even with some destructive things that may be happening. Hold on to your joy and use it as your resistance as we birth in this new beginning of a brand new story. And then what happened? Just stay curious. It may feel like the end of the world as we know it, But in fact, this is just the beginning that is coming in with that strong Neptune conjunct the moon. It's that Alice in Wonderland confusion and delusion all year, just as Neptune is getting ready to cross into Aries. And I talked about that in my Pisces new moon. And this eclipse is bringing a powerful Moon conjunct Pluto opposite Neptune for so many Gen Xers who have Pluto in Virgo. This is not a transit that's happening for everybody. This is just something that is happening if you were born between 1967 through 1975. Then those people have Pluto hanging out in Virgo. Anyone born between 1967 through 1975, Pluto in Virgo in this 20 to 29 degrees. Check your chart. Let me know if you have it. This will be in exact opposition to this Neptune North Node conjunction. So this is about creating a legacy. And this is your moment to shine, to do something profound. If you are a Gen X, this is really your moment to live out your vision, to quit waiting to live the life of your dreams, to go after your dreams right now with an urgency in this moment, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone, and it's a little bit heavy. It's a little intense feeling that time is running out for Gen X. It's that feeling of mortality that really makes you want to do something profound, something meaningful. And it all feels so serious when we have Saturn involved. Saturn is so serious. I got to wear gray and blue because blue is the color of Pisces and Neptune, and gray is the color of Saturn. Saturn is so heavy. And so Saturn makes us feel like we can sense the sand is pouring out of the hourglass now, and there's not much sand left at the top of the hourglass if you're a Gen Xer. Yikes, I don't love this transit. I am a Gen Xer. I'm in my 50s, and I am feeling this urgency from Pluto and Virgo, who also wants you to heal thyself, to take care of yourself with that sixth house. Because, of course, Virgo rules the sixth house of self-care, wellness, your healthy habits and daily habits, and getting rid of the bad habits and bringing in more good, nourishing habits. Virgo, the sign of this blood moon eclipse, is also about wellness. And it could really force us to take a look at our bad habits. You might have a healing crisis of sorts that makes you, maybe somebody has a heart attack, or your back goes out, or you just forced to make a change for the better. And it's about your daily routines and taking your supplements. This is an excellent time to start taking your supplements as we spring forward. Maybe we want to create new rituals that honor our health. And it can be this blood moon in Virgo can also be about procrastination that comes from perfectionism. That's Virgos like to do things just right. They want to get it just right. So sometimes Virgos can procrastinate because it's not perfect, and they don't want to turn their homework in until it's perfect. So there is a lot to get done. This is a busy full moon, and it's better done than perfect. So just do the thing you're dreaming of. And if you don't feel like you did it good enough, you can do it even better next time. Just get it done. And now I just want to read the Sabian symbol for this 23 degrees moving into 24 degrees. I read this when I did the Trump chart, because this eclipse is really going to be hitting Trump, like we said. So you can watch that whole video as well. I'll link it down below. But this is a little bit of a repeat if you watch that, but I made this more condensed. Virgo at 23 degrees is a lion tamer displaying his skill and character. And this is the need to tame one's vital energies in order to fulfill one's destiny. Whew, I love that. That's so Virgo, 6th house. You got to tame your vital energy in order to fulfill one's destiny. That can come from self-care. That can come from receiving a Reiki attunement to tap into your divine energy. This is about being in complete control of your own vital energy. And on a spiritual level, this includes overcoming the boastful pride attached to an exalted status or social office. Well, that just sounds like the president right there, doesn't it? Someone needs to come in and tame the lion before the lion gets out of control. And this is a process to control man's animal nature. The energy of the lion can be put to use once it is tamed and trained with patience. So we can all tame our own inner vital energies, but I think we also need to call in the lion tamer for our president. And this 23 degrees of Virgo quickly moves forward into 24. So I love to read two Sabian symbols. And Virgo at 24 degrees is Mary and her little lamb. We all remember Mary and her little lamb. The need to keep a vibrant and pure simplicity at the core of one's being as one meets tests of existence. Simplicity. Interesting. Coming after that preceding lion symbol, this tells us through great, spectacular, and resolute efforts, we can achieve our highest goals and our destiny. And Jesus told his disciples to be more like innocent little children. For an individual who is innocent is fixed upon their spiritual realization, that spiritual awakening that will genuinely radiate childlike innocence. And that is so Virgo. If you think of Virgo as the virgin, Virgo is the innocent one. We can all tap into our innocent virgin mind, and to reach our higher goals of destiny, just keep it simple. Release your attachment to outcome on this blood moon eclipse. So it looks like we have some powerful lessons coming at us in this blood moon eclipse portal. And this will be an eclipse I am not going to look for in the night skies, get up at midnight and look for it. No, thank you. I think I have superstition about looking at blood moon eclipses. This is one I don't need to see. And I will say, check on your Virgo and your Pisces friends. They are not okay. Let me know if you are a Pisces or a Virgo and you're feeling it already. And we all have Pisces and Virgo somewhere in our chart. So get out your chart and look for where 23 degrees of Virgo and 23 degrees of Pisces are. That is where your big soul lessons are coming in for this eclipse portal, which, yes, it happens on March 13th, but it really continues on. This can set a 6-month trajectory. So pay attention, friends. This is going to be huge. And with that Algol Star, mind your head. Don't lose your mind under this powerful next 6 months where all these eclipse portal energies are still going to be asking us to release your attachment to outcome and keep your head straight and focus on your vital energies. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.